Drums, please.
Hey everybody, Sino here, and welcome to DOPEamine, the show that is like a stroll through the desert. It's going to be long and arduous, but you'll probably learn a lot of things. Today on the show, I want to talk about INTPs and why we struggle with productivity. And as INTPs, productivity has been the thing that you voted as, for you as the INTP, you, my subscribers, have voted as the thing that you struggle with the most as INTPs. And productivity makes sense because productivity is about output, and output can be scary. We're very confident about what's in our minds, but putting things out in the world means that there's scrutiny. It means that we could be wrong, and being wrong hurts and it sucks. So that's a big part of it. Before we go forward, if you are watching this video and you've seen a couple videos already, hit subscribe, like all of the things in the button below, and then also hit the bell icon so that you can get notifications of when the next videos go live. I try to do around every Thursday, but you know, things kind of ebb and flow. So this show is all about mental health empowerment. And today I want to empower INTPs to be a little bit more productive. And to be productive, it really starts with the definition of productivity. Productivity for INTPs, we think of it as output, or at least the common conception, the definition that I've heard the most from INTPs is that it's about output. It's about producing. You know, it's in the word, productivity. It's about getting things out there. And not only just getting our thoughts out there, but doing work for other people. If we have to do stuff for work, for working for a boss, or even working for ourselves, those are different dynamics that involve different things. So as an INTP, it's about this feeling that we face when it comes to procrastination and taking too long to decide things. We get very caught up in the conceptual. Even this video is about concepts, right? This is the concept of productivity. And the challenge is that we can't conceptualize a physical object. We can't manifest something just with our thoughts. We have to do the work. Sometimes we have to get our hands dirty. Even if that's dirty on our dirty keyboard, we still have to get our hands dirty and get it done. So that's the challenge, is that it's really a reframe when we think about it, is that thinking about productivity as not just the output, but the entire process. I've been reading the book Type Talk, which came out in the late 80s, about type watching, which is basically in noticing people and paying attention to their personality, behaviors, and type. And they did an experiment with the different temperaments, NTs, SJs, SPs, and NFs. And the NTs, they did NTPs in particular, actually. The NTPs focused more on the conceptualizing first and foremost. The task was basically to build a man out of Legos. There was a predefined idea of what they wanted it to look like, and the NJs got it done like in the shortest amount of time, but they took the longest to conceptualize and put it together. NTPs, we took a long time to figure out, not we, I wasn't there, but NTPs took a longer amount of time to conceptualize the idea. They talked about what it is, what it represents, and trying to figure out how to place this, and maybe adding some ideas. They even had to correct some mistakes along the way. And that's really what I want to encourage for INTPs, is that conceptualizing is the part of the natural process for creativity for INTPs, for producing. And the challenge a lot of the time is that we are dealing with the conceptions of other people's representations of productivity, that the world at large expects productivity, at a faster pace. If you're working for an NJ, they're going to expect you to go, a little bit quicker. For a TJ, for example, or they're going to expect you to go a little quicker. Or an SJ. If you were working for an NTP, they're probably going to understand the fact that you need to conceptualize a little bit more, and you're going to take some time to figure it out. If you're working with a different, like an SP, they're going to just want to get your hands dirty and get in there right away. So if you're not actively doing something physically, they might get on your case about that too. So it's really twofold. It's one, first, it's about giving yourself forgiveness as an INTP and understanding that thinking and conceptualizing is a part of the process, that you have to figure out what it is that you need to do. And you need to communicate that that is how you work. that was a big game changer for me when I started working for other people. Along my career, there was a ton of bumps along the way. I was fired from a couple jobs. I struggled not only for mental health reasons, but because my personality didn't gel with the expectations of the corporate environment. And I had to eventually mold myself to be honest and to understand that there's a little bit of push and pull. Yes, there's a little bit of give. When you're working for a business, you have to comply to their rule set and you have to get the thing done, and you do have to eventually produce something. But early on, when you get hired, basically, or when you're working for yourself even, it's about establishing the rule set for yourself and for others to set the tone for how you're going to work. You sort of just explain, like, I take a lot of time to conceptualize. I work through things in my head. If it looks like I'm not working, I promise you I'm categorizing a lot of things in my head. And usually if you explain how your mind works, that you can hold a lot of information, that you can make deductions and conceptualize big and small things, that it's usually seen as a superpower. A lot of people, if they aren't INTPs themselves, can look at that as like, whoa, that's really interesting. That's cool. Okay, that makes sense. Or you can try to explain and walk them through your process of how you work out something. Because giving forgiveness for yourself allows you to then explain that to others, and they can forgive you for your process as well. It's not even forgiveness, it's not even the right word, so much as it's make space for. Because we have to make space for how we work, and other people need to make space for how we work as well. So if we are trying to get stuff done, it really is a largely psychological game. It's about making sure that you know how you work, practice that, figure out your own competencies, and then explain that to other people. Explain that when I'm doing something new for the first time, I need to taste test it, I need to try it, I need to figure it out. Or I need a lot of time to do the work myself. I don't work very well in groups. It's not that that I'm not a team player, but that it's I need to dive deep into my own mind to figure out the nooks and crannies. And then when I come out of it, I'm ready for feedback. We're ready to scrutinize this thing. We're ready to make it work. So that's one of the big things about this whole thing is, like, really it's not comparing ourselves to judgers and making sure that we are not expecting ourselves to behave like other personality types. Sometimes that inferior FE, that extroverted feeling, can create that challenge of feeling like we're separate from other people, especially when we are trying to be productive and have to conform in some way to get work done. We're feeling like, why can't I just work like other people? Why do I have to be this way? And, it's really about acknowledging and empowering yourself to allow for your mode of thinking to become a superpower, to not see it as a burden, but to see it and allow for other people to see what it is and how it contributes to the overall workload, and allow yourself to know your strengths. So there's a reason that other types exist. We're not built to do all of the work. We have struggles with TE things because we don't have extroverted thinking in our stack. We are not TJs. So having TJs to work with us and conceptualize, to take the things we conceptualize and simplify them and create a process, like, that helps us out. So really the extroverted feeling that we struggle with, that we judge ourselves with, is not about conforming, but it's about utilizing and creating relationships and letting people know and communicating what we experience, and then communicating when we need help and what we need help with. That's really a good use of extroverted feeling. So instead of trying to push ourselves to behave like judgers, basically, to find ways to be ourselves in the midst of creating. So sometimes that does involve pushing. You have to meet a deadline. You have to get things done. You have to sometimes do work that's a slog and that's difficult. Sometimes you're going to work with a boss, and if you have a boss that is not understanding of your personality type and the way that you think, then you might have to go find another job. And if you're working for yourself, that involves self-propulsion. And so that self-talk becomes even that much more important. And having an accountability partner to help you, support you, be with you, set deadlines with you, and honor them is going to be a great way for you to get things done and actually put things out into the world. So, output is a challenge for INTPs in terms of frequency, but we focus on quality. So quality over quantity. There's a concept called thrashing, that the first 80% of a project, you just do it. You just sit down, you get it done as quickly as possible, because that is your time to be creative. And that's what INTPs need to allow for ourselves, is to give ourselves that time, that room, that space to use that 80% to be creative in the ways that we want to be creative. And then after that, you save that project, set it aside as something you're proud of. That's your complete thing. And then you take that to whoever needs to give you feedback, whether that's your accountability partner, whether that's your clients, whether that's your customers, whether that's your boss, or your art director, or whatever you're working with. Someone's going to help you calibrate that last 20% and make sure you guys get it to the place that it needs to get to, right? So it's really about letting your foot off the gas pedal of your self-judgment and allowing yourself to thrash, allowing yourself to make things, allowing yourself to just go and do it, and then allow for feedback to happen. Don't get too married to the thing you just made, because things are going to have to shift and change. Either way, be proud of your work. Allow yourself to think. Allow yourself to be yourself. Allow yourself to conceptualize, and then make space for yourself with other people. You can't just expect them to understand who you are and how you think. You can't expect them to conform to how you think. You have to do the work of communicating who you are, how you work, and who you work best with. I promise you that once you start to identify with who you are and adapt to who you are and allow yourself to be expressive and honest and work the way you work, you're going to show up as the rock star in your company. Or be the person that can make meaningful change, or the person that can create something really fascinating and interesting and change the scope of reality. That's what INTPs do best. And so we look at what's missing and we figure out what that is. And we figure out, big picture, small picture things. I'm kind of rambling at this point, but the idea here is to really see yourself and your introverted thinking and your extroverted intuition, you as an INTP, as your superpower and not as a burden. It really starts there. And then you can communicate that to other people. So all of this to say, I'm relaunching the INTP Productivity Workshop. We're doing it as a monthly subscription where you join us, and the first round of beta subscribers get it for a reduced price. There's only 20 seats for the first round, so $40, 20 seats before, I don't have the exact date yet, but go check out the link below and you'll see the date there, and sign up to get notified for when that's going to be up. And we're going to be covering all sorts of topics around INTP productivity. We're going to dive deeper into what I just talked about psychologically owning your strengths, how to communicate those strengths to other people, and the concepts of thrashing, getting work done, rhythms and rituals, and we're going to be adding new things all the time. The thing about it being a membership is that I'm going to be posting each monthly workshop on the membership page. So you're going to have access to previous workshops, including the current workshop that you sign up for, to work with other INTPs, to talk to other INTPs, to share each other's experiences, to compare experiences so that you don't feel alone, that you understand that other INTPs are experiencing these challenges. Other INTPs have also overcome these challenges, and we can also support each other. So it's not about just me preaching at you. It's about INTPs supporting each other, and then you can find accountability partners in this as well. People who understand the way that your mind works and hold you accountable as a result of that. So the INTP Productivity Workshop is really about helping you become more productive, but then also supporting your growth in terms of personal development and community and connection with other INTPs. So go ahead, sign up in the link below, check that out and see when you want to sign up, when you want to get in. But the beta, the first round, is the one you want to get in, because once you get in, your price is locked. That's it. Same monthly price from the first time you sign up. So it's a good idea to get in the first round. If this is something you really need to help you, whether it's with your job or to work remotely or to start your own business, which is what I've been doing here with DOPEamine. If you want to start your own YouTube channel, you want to write more articles, you want to make more videos, you want to do more things, get in with the INTP Productivity Workshop. That is the best thing to do right now. So with that being said, hit the like and subscribe button if you like this video. Please share it with other INTPs and friends of yours. If you're struggling with even sharing how you work with other people, share this video with them and give them a sense of how you work through me. I will do other videos to try to explain that sort of stuff as well in the future. So with that said, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll catch you next time on DOPEamine. See ya.